All right, let's build the wheel. This is the last part of the train. Hoping somebody in every school will build a track as well so that it can sit on something all pretty. But this is the wheel, so this is our last part. Here's a wheel I built earlier. It's a nice titanium wheel. And we'll start from scratch on a wheel. Like everything, we'll start with a 2D sketch. Now, I'm actually gonna not start with that 2D sketch. I don't want to go on this plane because I want it on a horizontal plane because I'm going to build a profile, revolve it, and then I want the front to be actually a little bit different. Over here, this is even sitting weird, so I'm going to go like this. I'm looking directly down the top. All right, so there we go. So this, because I'm going to revolve, first thing I'm going to do is put an upright line right here. And the sole purpose of this line is to give me something to revolve around in a minute. Because I'm not going to have a shape touching the line, but I do have to have an axis to revolve on. So that's what that's all about. Now, I'm going to put some points down. I'm going to put a point right here. This point is going to give me a starting point for a rectangle. And that starting point for a rectangle is, so I'm going to have a rectangle start right here. And the rectangle, there's actually an axis, the hole in the wheel. I don't know what you call that. The hole in the wheel is 0.28. And that has to do with because of the peg that we stuck in there, the axle peg we have is like 0.25, so there's a tolerance, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, this is 0.28, but actually because I'm going to revolve it, I need that just half of 0.28 divided by 2. Whoa, that's tiny. Let me zoom in on that. Right here is where I want to start a rectangle from, right on that corner. And come out here a ways. So looking at my drawing, this end of this rectangle right here is going to have a half circle on it. But before I do that, this point right here that is the center of that circle that's going to make the edge of my wheel needs to be 1 inch from here. Well, I'm not sure exactly what that needs to be, other than I know that from here to here needs to be 1 inch minus that 0.14 that was right here. So now it's 1 inch minus 0.14 plus 0.14, so this is from here to here 1 inch, and that's what it needs to be. I also have to do a dimension here, and that one I think is 1/4 of an inch. So let's make that 0.25. All right, so there's a rectangle that I'm going to start working on now. I need a circle out on the end of it, right in the center, comes out, and make that have a diagram of 0.25, diameter, there we go, diameter of 0.25. In a while I'm going to do some trimming, but I'm actually going to do a lot of building before I do any trimming in here. Alright, so I need a couple more points. I'm going to put a point right in here, and I'm going to put a point right over in here. Now, obviously I'll need to dimension these 2 points. This farther point, right here to right here, needs to be 0.75. This closer point from right here to right here needs to be 0.25. Now, the reason I did that is because right in here, I'm going to make a rectangle and then trim it out in a minute, actually. So let's do that. I'm going to go right here and come locked into that point over there, make a rectangle. Now I need to dimension this rectangle right here. And that dimension needs to be 0.125. All right, so we can start to see what's going to happen. I'm going to have this general shape revolved around this axis, but I have to do quite a bit of trimming up. I also want to do a fillet. And the fillet measurement I want is 0.0625. 0.0625, I'm just looking at that from my drawing. And it needs to go right there. And it needs to go, ooh, something is up weird here. It needs to go right there, and it is non-existent. Hang on, let's figure this out. Well, that kind of messed something up over here. So when I mess up, what I generally do is Control Z and try something different. So I'm going to worry about doing my fillet over here and right here in a moment because that messed it up. So what I am going to do is, now that I have all of this stuff here, I'm going to delete a bunch of dimensions and go about trimming off the stuff I don't need. So here we go with all these dimensions going away, so that when I go to trim, it doesn't give me that error message. And so what don't I need? I don't need this. I don't need here, here, here. That looks pretty good, really. Sometimes I miss something, I can come back and get it later. But I think that's about what I don't need. So now let's go to the fillet. And I have already entered in my 0.0625. And I want to fillet that corner right there. And this corner as well. So now I'm pretty close. This is the thing that's going to revolve clear around. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to finish my sketch. Kind of gives me a kind of a weird look on it here. But now I want to revolve this thing. And it's messing with me a little bit as far as how it's sitting there. So, oh, I get it. All right, so I'm going to revolve my axis being this, my profile being this. Wham, there it is. All right, let's spin it around a little bit, see what I have on this back side. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So we've got it revolved and we're getting close. We've got to add some holes in it, and then I don't know what the deal is called that you hook the linkage arm to so the train can move. All right, so let's do a drawing on here. So the drawing on here, I'm going to make a drawing on this face so it will square up to me. It's one of our first chances to do what's called a pattern. Maybe we've done a pattern before, I don't remember it though. And it also is going to give us a chance to dimension angles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my line tool and I'm going to draw a line straight up. Actually, I don't know how far to draw that line yet, so I'm going to go Control Z and not draw that line straight up yet. What I want is a couple of circles. I want a circle right here, and then I want a little bit bigger circle out here. Now I need to dimension these circles so that we have them the right. So the smaller circle is 0.375. And, whoa, something's not right at that. Oh, it's 0.375 times 2 because I was reading a radius. Much better. All right, that's my smaller circle. My larger circle, this one out here, is 0.625 times 2 because it's just showing me a radius on my drawing as well. So now I have a larger circle and a smaller circle, and I'm ready for this line I was dinking around with earlier. Put a line straight up. Hit OK. And then I'm going to put a line at some angle from there like this. Now, I just realized I did something that might mess with me. So I'm going to Control Z. I know this line has to go past that outer circle, but I don't want it to go much farther. So I've got these two lines, and I want to dimension these two lines, not what they are, but the angle between them is what I'm concerned about. And the angle between these two lines is 30 degrees. And so now that's the first time I think we've actually dimensioned an angle between two lines. That 30 degree, this little, I don't even know what you call that shape, sector, no, kind of the piece of pie looking dude, but without the pointy part, is what we're going to keep, and we're actually going to make a whole bunch of those. So in order to make that work, I need to trim out a bunch of stuff, and so I'm going to get rid of some dimensions. Whoa, how come that's not letting me get rid of dimensions? There we go. Now what I'm going to do is trim out a lot of stuff, actually. All right, so all I have is that little, I don't know what that shape's called. I'm a math teacher, I probably should know that, but I don't know. But that little shape there, I'm going to pattern. And I'm going to go up here to circular pattern. And it wants to know a few things. I'm going to go around this middle, and I am going to click on each one of these dills. And that's, oops, I guess I should have picked on geometry first. Something's not quite working like I want it to. Axis, here, geometry. Well, let's see. I'm not sure what's up with this. So I'll keep trying. Oh man, you click on enough stuff and stuff happens. I think I did it with that arrow there. I did need 6 of them, evenly spaced. It happened. Cool. All right. Takes a little hunting pack and try, and stuff works. But now I have this pattern going around there, and I'll finish that sketch. I am going to pull this up and cut. I'm not going to go with a distance. I'm going to go what's called to next. And I am going to click on each of these spots and cut them all out. And now I've got that pattern cut into my wheel. So now I'm actually really close to done. I do need to put that thing the linkage arm hooks to right up here. In order to do that, it's a tough one to locate. I need to locate it right in the middle, and actually sits up into the air a little bit. I do know how far away it is, but what I'm going to have to do is draw some lines, and I'm going to draw them on this face here. So I need a line going straight out, and I'll get rid of this line later. There's a line going straight out, and I need another line going out at an angle from it, but that angle very specifically needs to be right in between that one, and that would be a 15-degree angle. So now we have a 15-degree angle, and I need to do that because I need to center the linkage arm peg thingy on it right there. All right, so now if I plop a point at the right distance out there, that is going to locate that for me. So I need to put a point on this line, and the point on this line from the point to the center. Oops, that's not what I want to do it. From the point to the center. Still not doing it. Whoa. So from this point to this center, It's giving me some grief there. Let me get rid of a dimension. Let me get rid of this line. Ooh, that was weird. Delete. Now maybe it'll let me dimension from this point. No, still doesn't like it. So I am going to get rid of this line as well. Now maybe it will let me dimension from the center to here. No, it won't. I did not have this trouble earlier. Oh, that's what I want to do right there. All right, I do want to dimension it right there. It needs to be 0.7. Sometimes things don't happen as slick as you think they ought to. I need a circle on that point. And that circle has a dimension of 0.25. And notice it kind of goes out into that wheel area, but it's supposed to. So it goes out in that wheel area as a dimension of 0.25. I finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude this little circle right here a little bit, not that far. It needs to come up 0.375. And now it has this, it's coming out a little ways. Now it has a kind of step down that comes out again. So I'm going to draw a circle on that one, center it on there, dimension that circle, and excuse me, that inner circle is 0.125, and I'm going to finish that sketch. I'm going to extrude that inner circle. It guessed which one, but only extrude at 0.125. And so I'm getting close, but now it has a hole in it, right in the very end of it. So I got to do a sketch again on that tiny little circle. And it's not very big, so I made a little circle. I'll blow it up a little bit. There it is. Dimension this little circle. Whoa, okay. And when we dimension that little circle, it is 0.0625. All right, so now we have a little circle on there. We finished that. Now we want to make in that little, I better zoom it up. I'm going to go after that guy. However, I'm going to cut inward this time, and that has a depth of 0.25. Oh, something didn't like that. 0.25. And so that's all going in there now. Let's see how we look. It's looking pretty good. I think I'm done. On a couple other builds, you'll notice every now and then I'll forget to do something, and somebody in my class catches me on it, and that's fine. But I think that this is good to go. I don't think there are any fillet edges or anything like that. You know, now we're just a matter of maybe we want to mess around and go tools, material, and who knows what do we want to make it look like. Cast bronze or something. I don't know. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good to me. All right, we built the wheel, and we're about ready to throw a train together now. Looks pretty good. Cool.